Hi there guys, welcome to some channel news. I'm using Stellaris background for that because it's just so beautiful, right? So there are some things that need to change. Not Stellaris, there's everything there's okay, but doing 4 RPGs at a time makes me a little dizzy in the head, I have to admit. It is really not that fun as it could be. So in the future I'd rather have one RPG and that one daily maybe. Or definitely daily, so we have some sense of progress. We can really identify, or I can at least identify with a character. That is, I think, much better for my mental health and for my motivation. Also, I don't have that as much time as I want for the news videos. I'd really want to make better produced news videos for Stellaris and for for example for Pillars of Eternity 2. There's some news, but I haven't had time just because of the schedule. So I want to cut back, make the schedule better, make the gameplay better with these little tweaks, I'd say. And so what we're doing is I won't touch Wizardry 8 and Pillars of Eternity. Oh, look at that. That's so beautiful. It's also my favorite music in the background. Remember Mercedes Romero. So I won't touch Wizardry 8 and Pillars of Eternity. These games will run until they are complete. As I have much less viewers on Tyranny and Torment, I'll put that on hold. I will still want to finish it though. But until Wizardry 8 will complete first, I'm pretty sure of that, and Pillars of Eternity are complete, I will not play these games. Better for my head, better for my motivation. So I'll keep that running, and we can thoroughly identify with our groups then. The dark side of the moon. That's really nice. And yeah, so what will happen when Wizardry 8 is complete? Then we don't have Pillars of Eternity every second day. We'll have it every day. So we'll make that daily already. There's still a lot left in Pillars of Eternity, in the White March, and also in the original classic. The final fight is still waiting for us, and I think some more little tweaks and things are also waiting for us there. I think it should be fun to have that running daily. Maybe we'll be finished by episode 450 or something. I don't really expect it, and I'm not going for just finishing it. I want to put out a good experience, a good show, or a good talk, some good entertainment. I just want to be able to take the time, maybe put out some guides. That's another reason. I always wanted to do some guides, but I just don't have the time with that schedule at the moment. It's just also because of the variety. It's a little bit too much for me, as I don't have that much time, and you need to do it relaxed, and you need to reflect on guides a lot. And yeah, I mean, I'm self-employed, so I have quite much to do. I'm researching a bit on the university, and I have 2 little kids, so no wonder I'm feeling a little bit stressed at the moment. I'm happy that I'm not really sick that often at the moment. I'm getting that done right, but I want to really put out some quality for you, and I think that's the way to concentrate on like one RPG at a time. In a difference to strategy games or like more light-hearted games like shooters, I think you cannot really concentrate on 5 of these at once. I'd rather have more news videos and guides and maybe little like teaser let's plays so we can find out what you like from time to time, like 5 episodes of a new game or of a game that is sitting in my library for so long, or of a nice retro game like Master of Orion 2. Maybe you'd be also interested in a playthrough of that. Pretty good at that game, so, and a lot of you like to see space games, so that could be a possibility. Maybe some older games once we have all the RPGs completed in a very fun way. We could go Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition again, or something like that. And we could go really deep then, because we have that time. So the goal at the moment is to have that daily schedule for Stellaris, and I'm always, if I can, I'm putting out some bonus episodes on the weekends. You notice that I'm putting double episodes out. That may also happen for the RPGs, but that can only happen when I'm really motivated, and this means basically concentrating on one RPG, because that gets me really in the mood. I'm really identifying with the characters then, and it's really fun. So that is what will change in the schedule. And then there's the blog. I have a blog that I want to use more. Like, I want to give you an overview. Maybe I want to make a post or a page for every Let's Play I'm running, and just put out probably for future Let's Plays, because that much backtracking would be killing me from the workload. I want to make like a giant page for each Let's Play, where you can go for all the episodes as a summary, like similar to a playlist, but you can also read through what happened, or look up what happened when and where. I want to have these things coming. Same goes for the news, for example, for Stellaris. So you'd have one post for like the whole, let's say, 1.7 patch dev diaries. So you would have all the dev diaries on one page to like read in all the links, all the videos I'm making. So if you really want to get informed, or if you're backtracking after a while and just want to see if before a patch comes what is in there, then you could go to that post and just read through it and skim through the parts you don't like that much, and go to the interesting parts very easily. And that's what I want to do as well. And the same goes for the guides. I really want to make a guide concept, and I've always said that, like, for a guide you need to have about 20 times as much time for planning, preparations and shooting the video as is coming out. At least 20 times. I mean, that would mean, like, for a 5-minute guide that is good, that is quite good, watchable, that also brings you something, you'd have to invest like roughly 100 minutes, if that is enough. Even maybe more like 200 minutes to get it really condensed. And probably it is better to go like all the way out and formulate every word, so you have a really crisp and nice guide. So that's what I would need the time for. But first I want to concentrate on these improvements. There's also, with a blog, I've changed the links, the permalink structure, so it's more telling something. I've changed that, not in the old videos yet, but I've changed it in the, like, for the example, the YouTube schedule. I have changed that on the channel page. But if you have like a bookmark for that thing, you should update it to the new, I think it's just /YouTube schedule or something like that. So the links already say more, and I think that's good for information. Then, like, last thing is, I want to go for some technical improvements. I want to experiment with some stuff. I've tried that out in Stellaris already, but I'm not convinced yet. I think I have found a method how I can record in 4K and it will look good. And it won't be like awkward or something or lagging. So I'm experimenting with that in the Let's Play. And I think like in a month or so we'll have very good quality for that. So if you have a bigger monitor, like, it's actually pretty easy to watch 4K with a graphics card, like a newer graphics card that is a bit costly, but not like that costs that much, like a GTX 960 or something. Like, not one of these really expensive cards, but a 950 with good memory, or 960. It would be possible if you had a monitor capable of like 1440p or 4K. It would certainly be possible to watch it. So it's pretty easy to watch 4K. You don't need very high level hardware for that. Also, your smartphone might be able to do it. Smartphones have surprisingly high resolutions. So you might be able to watch it and it might look very, very nicely. So I want to make use of that, of the new resolutions available to people. As I said, you don't need a killer gaming machine to watch these. To record these, you need a lot of tricks so that it looks good. And I'm learning these tricks, but I can only learn them if I try them out and get some feedback. It's the only way for me, because there are some tutorials out there, but they don't tell you like everything for your own personal computer. I mean, of course, yeah, it would be easy if I got out and bought a computer from one of these pro sellers that costs like $5,000 or something, but I don't have the money for that to spend it on a computer. I'm investing a bit, but that is totally out of the question. I think you can understand why. If I would have like 400,000 people subscribing, watching regularly, and getting like all kinds of Patreon stuff, then I would totally do it, because yeah, it would be my life then. But yeah, as it goes, it's a beloved hobby that I'd like to share, and I'm really motivated to take it to the next level. But until then, I will not invest in something that costly. So I think you can understand, and I think the quality we have already is already pretty high. I mean, I really admire that, and that's just 180p 60. So that brings me to the last thing. I bought a webcam at an Amazon flash sale that is, I think, working well, and once all the technical stuff is in good hands and working well, and all that stuff that I've mentioned is on the safe side, I might go for some streaming, like on YouTube probably, or on Twitch, or on both, parallel. Don't know yet. It depends how things develop. And Yeah, or I might appear live in... Oh, that was flashy. I might appear in person in guides or something. I'm unsure about like role play videos because I think it disturbs the role play a bit. I would have to dress up and that would be really strange for me. I'm not usually the guy to dress up in a very funny way or to cosplay. I think you'd have to cosplay to to do that. And I'm not sure how to cosplay people from the culture, for example, or how to cosplay like that death head from Kevava in Pillars of Eternity, or yeah, something like that. I mean, I could go for a medieval game. I could just put on a strange helmet with horns, and that would be it. That would be funny and effective, and maybe I could stay serious, and then it would be good role play. But other than that, I think it can also be good if you don't see me. It's not that I've got a face for the radio, as they always told. I think I'm looking okay. I'm just the average guy out there. I have a pretty big head, but I can adjust the camera so you don't see it as big. Yeah, I have a big head because I'm basically very tall and I'm also not thin, so I'm not thick either. I'm like average, but yeah, I'm probably more like the Ormoa type. If you're into Pillars of Eternity, I'm more like the Ormoa. And yeah, so there's that. So, what is this? We have the culture as an opponent. Yeah, that's just a test game of me with some purifier-ish guys. Not really purifier-ish because pacifist and fanatic xenophobes. Yeah, just experimenting a bit with the game with a 1.6 patch. Just looking if everything works similarly and doing well. Yeah, so that was all the changes that will come. And I think it's going to be pretty good, all in all. Like, it's similar to other YouTubers I've seen and I've known that there's always a point coming where you want to concentrate on learning to improve your content, put more time into that content instead of just making more content. And I think that's the way, because yeah, you also don't have infinite time to watch, and I understand that. So I want to make better use of my and your time by improving the overall quality of the channel and the videos and generally the information I give and the entertainment I want to bring out. So I think that's really the goal here. It is what I want to deliver. Like images like this and music like in the Paradox games is also very, very high quality. And yeah, I'm just closing with a In Memory of Mercedes Romero song because I like it best. What is your favorite song from Stellaris, if you're playing Stellaris? Is there one? Or like from Pillars of Eternity, there are pretty good songs in there. Especially in the White March. Is there one of you? who has a favorite song. I really love the music. There are so many games that don't have good music. That music is repeatable and frustrating after a while, and you just shut it down. But there are some games here, like Stellaris. Like the whole Paradox spectrum has very good music, and I think it's an important part. If you do it well, we're coming back to quality. They have an own composer. A lot of the big studios just buy stuff from people, but Paradox has an own composer, and I think it's showing. You hear it, and it's the quality, it's the effort they put in, and it's the effort also I want to put in. So I hope to see you again on the channel. I hope you're not. Please forgive me if you want to watch Tyranny or Torment. Please say so. I haven't had much feedback in these, and because of this, that's one of the reasons they are put on hold, and then they go back to daily, because I think it's much better to have them on daily also for the viewer. As long as it's 20-minute episodes, you can always catch up, and it's interesting, and it is an impression, and it is a progress felt, and a story that isn't put on hold, that is continuously there, and it's much more fun to watch if you have it daily. That's why I'm going for that, and it's definitely coming. It's just taking a while, but then it's going to be there daily for you. And as I said, I have made some, also for the recording, I'm doing some changes to be able to deliver more fun and entertainment in the long run. I think I'm changing some things, mixing some things up, experimenting. I'm not scripting things because that's not my thing. You know, I'm quite authentic. If I fuck up in a game, you can see that I fucked up. I'm sorry about the words, but that's just how it is, right? I fail at dragon fights in Pillars of Eternity quite often, or at surprising fights out of the middle of nowhere. And I'm always a little ashamed to show it, but I think you deserve to know that I'm not a super player, and I think there's many players out there, or many Let's Players out there, that would definitely cut that out. You cannot see them fail. But I think it is the fails that also shows how difficult such a fight can be. And it's also like to show that I'm not a genius playing these games. I'm just a normal person playing these games, and you can do that too. Also on the highest level, it's definitely possible. You don't have to be a genius to do that. In most games, they are definitely possible on the maximum level for persons like us, not with an IQ of 175 or something. I'm excluding some games like the highest level of the older civilizations was pretty hard, I'd say. That, I would say, definitely is reserved for people with very high intelligence sometimes, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I think you can all do it, because you're, of course, as viewers, you're always much more intelligent than me as the player. You're like the gods out there watching the mortal play, and I want to give you a nice, entertaining event, a nice show, also some information, and yeah, I feel you're there for me, motivating me in turn, and we'll see where that goes. There's no end to this road. Let's see what we'll find along the road and what is on the horizon and how the horizon is changing. So enough metaphoring. Have a good time, happy gaming to you, and see you in one of the next episodes of whatever. Have a good time until then.